Hi, welcome to Gypsy Moon Homestead. Today I'm making succulent soap. So the first thing we're doing here is we have all our oils melted in this container here. Right here. Then we have our lye and water solution in here. And so we're just combining these. Very slowly and carefully so we don't splash. Now we want to use the mixer and mix this until it comes to trace. Okay, you can see that it's a light trace right now. And so I'm going to divide this because I need 24 ounces for the base. So I just have a old lard container here I'm using. There, now that's at 0, so I can pour my soap in here and measure out 24 ounces. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. And then for the succulents, I will need about 3 ounces for that, so I'll measure that out too at the same time here. I just have another Parmesan cheese container. Get out all my fancy Tupperware for soap making. Okay, and then I'll measure out the 3 ounces I need for this. Alrighty. And I'll set the rest of this aside because I won't need this for this batch. Okay, now we'll do the succulents first. So they'll need a little bit of green pigment powder. Just a little bit because I want these kind of a medium green. And then I'm using white grapefruit and turmeric soap scent. And just a little tiny bit in there. Now we want to mix this all up. Okay. Now, this came out just a little bit darker than I wanted, but that's okay. So now we'll just start filling our molds. And we'll want to let these sit about 24 hours before we pop these out. These silicone molds are so nice. They're so much easier to use than the plastic ones. Alright, that's it for that one. So I'll just pull this one off to the side here. And now for the base part, we're going to add some brown oxide. We just kind of want it to look kind of like a clay pot or terracotta. And then we'll add about ½ an ounce of fragrance oil to this. And then we'll mix this. Okay, you can see that nice brown color. Okay, now I just start pouring this in here. And it's easier to work with if it's a little bit more liquid like this. If you let your soap set up too much, it's going to be hard to get down in the grooves. Kind of excited for this one because it's something a little bit different than I normally do. Okay, that's perfect. So now we just have to wait 24 hours for this to set up, and then we can pop these out of these molds and come back and do the next step. Hey guys, it's been 24 hours and we are going to try to pop the flower pot part out of these molds, and then we'll do the next step with making the inside part, the dirt part of the flower pot. So this is the first time I've ever used these. I did freeze these so they would come out easier for me. Oh wow, look at that. That turned out beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to continue popping all these out, and then we'll come back and we'll make the filling for the flower pots. So now I'll take these succulents out. Oh, that turned out cute. And those will be for the tops. There's even a big one. That one might be just a little bit too big for the tops, but I think the medium size will be just perfect. Okay, so now we're going to mix up our second batch of soap for the middle. So we need some dirt for those flower pots. So I'll do this just like always here. Mix the lye water into the oils. Okay, now that we have the right consistency, I'll measure this out because I only need 18 ounces to fill 12 of the containers. Okay, and I'll set that aside because I'll use that for a different batch of soap. So we have our soap measured out in there. And now we want the rest of our white grapefruit and turmeric soap scent. And we're going to add some chia seeds, just so it looks a little bit like dirt. Add quite a few, a couple tablespoons. We'll mix that up. And I think we're going to want a little bit of color. We'll put just a tiny dab of brown in here, so it makes it just a little bit tan. Well, that's brown oxide I added. Okay. There's that. That looks like dirt, doesn't it? Now we just have to pour these. And I have a dozen of these. So that'll be fun. I just want that right up to the top. So this is fun. I've never attempted this kind of mold before. I thought maybe it would be a good Mother's Day gift for people, or just a fun spring soap, and the scent is really good too. Okay, that's pretty much it, and then we'll come back once this is set up a little bit and we'll put the succulents on. Okay, so I decided to add just a little bit of activated charcoal into this, so it made it a little bit more dirt colored. And I'm just gonna put a little dab on the top of that to each one of these. And then what we're going to do is take one of these succulents and we're just going to press it right into the dirt. Look at how that turned out. Isn't that cute? Looks like it's growing right in its little flower pot.